to me, when you're an entrepreneur, you just flow.
Yes.
There's no Monday, there's no Tuesday, there's no break. You just continually flow.
Yes.
And you can attest to that,
Yes,
I'm sure.
trust
'cause
me.
You just
Trust
entered
me.
it.
Yeah.
Mr. Stiffwaist, man.
Private practice. Private practice
He's an
is a lot.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
He's an entrepreneur, but he ain't no flow guy.
He ain't no flow. He has boundaries.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
that's
put it
what
that
I
way.
don't think that's what she meant. She meant when in business, especially as a private practice, your clients call you at any time. You have matters at any time. It's very rewarding, but it's very exhausting as well. But it's very rewarding, and so I could understand what you mean being in business, because you earn what you make. You know. You earn based on based on persons coming to you.
Yes, and in addition, the earning capacity is also based on the economy.
Yes.
So if the economy goes up, then yes, maybe we go up too. If the economy goes down, we go down as well. So we're really at the whims and fancies of customer decisions and the policies made and so forth. And of course, the multiplier effect. I'm really happy to see that the tourism industry has gotten back. When I look at the tour buses, and the vans. And the other day, I was like a tourist myself. I couldn't believe my mouth dropped open because I saw about 4 vans packed. No, it was about 6 of them packed alongside the cenotaph, allowing the guests to come out and take pictures of the view of the scenery. And I was like, what? I'm happy for them. And genuinely, I am thrilled for our practitioners within the tourism industry. I'm really, really happy for you.
But in January, that reminds me of something that happened. I had a very close family friend came home for a funeral, right? Mm-hmm. And we took them to the beach and at
I know you're gonna say
Southeast Peninsula. Mm-hmm. So when we went up the hill, I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of people there. When we come back, we can go up there. The top of Timothy Hill. Look out." So I was like, okay, when we come back, we can go take some pictures there. When I came back, it was still a lot of people, and that was after 5.
When the boat leaving.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like. With all these people
it's really, really good. I'm really happy for the tour operators, happy for my fellow locals, and it will spin off and land in the laps of somebody selling sugar cake, or, the different supermarkets, schools, restaurants. Is going to filter down through to us, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, of course, and as I like to say, it's always good to be positive. It's always good to give that positive energy, and I want to give some positive affirmations this morning. I want you to go out there and say, I feel healthy, I feel confident, I feel ready to take on any task. So I feel healthy, I feel confident, I feel ready to take on any task. So here in some of the local news, it says that ECCU's progress in reducing fiscal deficits on track, although debt still remains a challenge for the region. So that there was a missing person over the weekend. There was a report for a missing person over the weekend, and that person has been found. So that's very good. Health is wealth. ECCB's 7th Growth and Resilience Dialogue set for April 25th to 26th. So we have some interesting here looking at some international, though. It says Turkey launches investigation into 612 people after quake. So, wow. Earthquake matters again. So it seems like we have some sort of, relatively, can't even say relatively. Since the year has started, it seems like seismic activity has been on the rise within our region and outside, and I'm just thankful that here in the Caribbean it isn't anything serious, but I am also disheartened by the fact that so many persons have lost their lives regionally and internationally. Well, not regionally, internationally.
And it just happens. There's no plan.
There's no plan.
You can't. Like a hurricane is coming. At least we could batten down, shop, things like that. But with an earthquake, it's too sudden to respond.
Exactly.
Oftentimes.
And here it says that high surf advisory goes out into effect for several Caribbean islands. The Antigua and Barbuda Meteorologist Service has announced that a high surf advisory will go into effect Sunday night, tonight, so the article was yesterday, for Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands, and on Monday morning for St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat.
So fishermen need to be careful.
Yes. In an urgent marine weather message said the timing would be from around midnight Sunday until Saturday for Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands, and Monday morning until Saturday for St. Kitts Nevis, and Monday morning until Wednesday for Montserrat. So, as you say, the fishermen have to be careful. We've had some occurrences where fishermen have been lost at sea.
So, yeah, they definitely need to be made aware. There's something happening on St. Kitts just about in 15 minutes, 16 minutes. It's the National Consultation on the Management of the Invasive Green Monkey. That's supposed to start at 8:30 at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, and the Ministry of Environment is leading on this. And when I saw this notice, I was saying, hallelujah, praise be to God. Something needs to be done.
Yes, it's been a long time, and a lot of farmers have been complaining about the monkeys destroying their crops.
And the thing is, we have probably one of the richest soil in the region.
Yes.
And it is unfortunate that we can't maximize its potential because of these invasive species. And I've always said, let's knock on the door of France. France needs to be involved in this matter because according to oral history, it was the French who brought them out of Africa to St. Kitts as pets. I don't know what their fascination was. You just left the thing them there now. So they brought them to St. Kitts as pets, and they've left. The French have left.
Yes.
But the monkey is still here, and we're grappling for our food security.
And the monkey population oversees that of the Kittitian and the Vision population.
More than the humans.
Yes.
But the fantastic thing is, from what I understand, a monkey, like a human, it takes 9 months for them to have a new offspring. So if it just takes, so they could just have, I don't think they could get twins, I'm sure they can. But if it just one could come out every 9 months, and there are more of them on the island than the humans, that says a lot.
They've been multiplying without control.
And I always say,
I mean, with humans, we do, planning, there's the, the other means for safe interaction.
Not with the monkeys, not at all.
Yes.
One go, you call up your fellow monkey, yo, I'm locked up. What you doing about it? Yeah. But I don't know. I always used to say, I'm renting my house from them because I have fruit trees.
So you have experience.
It has
personal
been
experience.
really, really bad. But somehow I live in the St. Peter's area, Cleco housing to be specific, and I don't know what has happened over the past 3 years. They still come, but not as frequent as before. I don't know what's happening, but I'm grateful because I can get a mango. Because my body needs the nutrients. But we need to do something seriously about them, and we need to call France. France need to come back for them and take them back to where they belong. Alliance One says, you hear? I said, please. No, this is serious. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is our food security. This is our import bill. This is our maintenance of our health. And it's a very, very serious matter.
So, we have an article on Loop News, and it's actually by Akola Thompson. And it says here, no shopping journey with Guyanese change maker Elsie Parry. It says in 2021, upon sorting through her clothes in frustration, Elsie Parry realized that she had a problem. She had way too many things. As someone who loves fashion, her closet had long veered out of control, and she committed to tempering the excess. That resulted in her embarking on a year-long no-shopping journey, seeking to not only thin out her wardrobe, but also become more cautious of her fashion sense. And so the article goes on to talk about what would have prompted her and the like. And I mean, this seems like an interesting article. Imagine a year without going shopping. And Elsie Parry, she is Guyanese, but she grew up here in St. Kitts and Nevis. She went to the schools here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So
I think clothes is a luxury.
She's saying she has too many right now.
Yeah, you know, once you got shelter and food, that's the basic.
Yes.
But we gotta say congratulations to Australia women. They won the World Cup.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah. West Indies, you know, we're going to come back. We just give them a chance. But we'll come back and maintain our
and I think they had the jinxing, I think that's what they call it, the jinxing Sunday, where we had the Charlestown Secondary Primary School, the jinxing meet by the Kim Collins Stadium.
Charlestown did it again. No, my thing is, my natural thought is, you have these star athletes.
Yes.
What are we doing? We need to get another Kim Collins out of this batch of promising students. What happens along the line? What is going on in St. Kitts and Nevis?
And you know, on March 24th to March 26th, we have the inter-school competition.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know...
so who's going to take it this year? Going back country?
Interestingly, the Standing Point High School didn't participate yesterday in the jinxing meet. So... we are to see whether or not Sandy Point would recapture its
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the ground provisions down there, but Sandy Point, you're doing something major. And congratulations to Charlestown.
Yes, congratulations.
Well. You dominate your
secondary,
local. Is the secondary or the primary?
The secondary. They had the competition yesterday, jinxing the secondary schools. Yeah, but Sandy Point wasn't in it. Yeah. I think they had Sandy Point, based on what I asked, they had the sports day, I think, recently, and some of the athletes weren't fully recuperated to take up the challenge. I think the jinxing meet is a new meet, and so it gave the opportunity for other schools to win, you know, I say. Because, you know, Sandy Point High School has been dominating the track and field arena. So, you know, Charlestown Secondary School won yesterday. So let's see, you know, that they seem like the number one competitors for the inter-school championships.
Congrats.
And you know, Barbados to export packed sugar to the United States. The chief executive officer of Barbados agricultural management company, Orlando Arthurly, says the agency should bring in Barbados 4.2 million in revenue from the sale of locally branded packages of sugar exports that will be sold to the United States during this year's harvest, which starts on Monday. According to Arthurly, Barbados recently secured a contract to sell the United States 2,500 tons of packed sugar every year. And speaking with the publication Barbados Today, Arthurly said the market was recently secured. During a post-cabinet press conference on Friday, Agriculture Minister said Barbados has almost now doubled its price in getting for its packed sugar exports.
I want to be missing out, boy.
So Barbados
it's gone from $900 US a ton to $1,500. Yes.
It has increased from $900 a ton to $1,500.
To $1,500. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So Barbados is raking in. You know, Barbados is raking in here in. You know, we could all remember those days when we had the sugar like that.
Yes, yes. But you know what? You know, when you do have a falling supply, you know, those who are still in the mix, they benefit from increased prices. So the more of us drop out of the sugar market,
good point. The more,
the others who are remaining. You should say thanks to us. Happy to send us some of that their money, man.
You know, at least their Crop Over Festival is still a literal name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and when we call Sugar City is not exactly literal, now, right?
And even but and then the thing is, our soil is better than theirs. We're volcanic.
Yes.
They're still pushing it. Good for you, Barbados.
So Guyana dub a world model for preserving nature.
Oh, yeah.
The United
Definitely.
Kingdom's Minister of State with responsibility for overseas territories, the Commonwealth Energy, Climate and Environment Minister, says that Guyana is recognized globally for its efforts in preserving its pristine forests and natural resources, as the country has one of the lowest deforestation rates. Speaking while on a 2-day visit to the communities in the Region 9, Goldsmith said that Guyana boasts one of the best forest management systems in the world.
Great.
You have provided an example for the world. You've also provided a gift for the world. True. Because you have given us something on which we can build, True. The UK minister disclosed. He explained to residents that human beings must repair the abusive relationship with its natural resources to address the issue of climate change. Mm-hmm.
Guyana, look, I'm amazed by Guyana. And, you know, we in the Caribbean really need to do a lot of selling ourselves or telling the world, you know, how great we are. Because the world does excellent at telling their story.
Yes.
But we don't do it enough. You know, like growing up, I don't know if you remember those cameras. Oh, gosh. They would be red, and then, you know, this is like these transparent images, and once you put it in, you click, the images move.
The Viewmaster thing.
Viewmaster. Yeah. And one of the constant images that you would find in these Viewmasters, because they came from outside, they don't have images of the Caribbean because they're not, you know, made locally. They weren't made locally. Niagara Falls is one of the biggest, you know, features of Canada that was always fed to us.
Yeah.
As I became an adult, I realized Niagara Falls ain't nothing compared to the falls in Guyana.
The falls in Guyana is the highest falls in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing those falls on my Viewmaster, you know. I mean, England Britain can fit into Guyana 8 times.
Yes.
8 times.
You have to market yourself. No one is going to market you for you.
It's true.
Yeah, so you have to market yourself. And so just like those large, well, I would not even larger because Britain is smaller than, you know, but just yes. So just as those first world category countries market themselves, I think, you know, we in the Caribbean need to market ourselves and market ourselves well as well.
No,
although we have to remember though, right? That, and I totally agree. But the thing is, it's like it's like you know, this thing that you know, people talk about first world problems. And the thing with, so people always disparage them when they, you know, they get in a tizzy over simple matters. The thing is, they've gotten to the point where they're so advanced that they can afford to worry about all sorts of trivialities. Whereas us, we're just trying to get by, and then we tend not to have the budgets. We tend not to have the budgets that they would have. So while we would love to do it, I mean, like we'd love to throw $5 million at an advertising agency and say, hey, come up with a tourism campaign for us. We really can't do that. So I feel like the thing that we need to be doing is pooling our resources, and we all know that's going to be a problem because we're always fighting against each other. Look at the citizenship by investment program.
Oh gosh.
The one, I don't even call it one-upmanship. It's the downmanship, because it's like we come up with a price and Dominica carries the price down, and then Antigua carries the price down. So we don't even come together. I think it would be great. One price, right? Yeah. Or we all pool they all pool their resources and have a company do the different tourism campaigns for each country, but all of us put into the pool to pay for it. But we know that's not going to happen. Yeah, and the thing is, there's an intense sibling rivalry between all of us. But aside from that, you know, the passion to push your country, nobody can do it like a national. You know, so to give it to someone else, you possibly risk the true essence of who we are. There's that passionate push going across. Yeah, and I think we've had attempts towards regional integration. I mean, we are still trying, you know, with CARICOM. I think the best model that has worked for us is the OECS. Yes. That has worked well. So proud. So very proud. If you look at the West Indian Federation with all the countries, you realize that Jamaica left. Yeah. And then after Trinidad said, well, one from 10, one leaves nothing, and then they left. And then we were the smaller countries left,
And look at it. We were able to manage.
Because the math wasn't mathing then. And it's not mathing now for them either.
Exactly.
No. And guess who is now saving a lot of people in terms of employment?
Is it smaller countries?
Yes.
The smaller Caribbean countries who they thought would have been burdens at the time.
And now we are carrying them to say. And you know what? At times I do, because of course there are various islanders living on St. Kitts and Nevis right now. And my point of view isn't to say, oh gosh, Lord, we have to compete with you, blah, blah, blah. It's not that, I am so proud that St. Kitts and Nevis economy has grown to the point where we can assist our brothers and sisters who maybe because of a hurricane or whatever matter, or maybe a slow economy, that we can say, come to us, we're going to build you, we can provide you with a job or two, a safer environment, and you can live a fulfilling life here. If it for now, you can't get that where you're from.
Okay, it's 8:32, and I'm glad you brought up that Unoma, because that's a topic we're going to be touching on later on in the show. Okay. So that was a nice segue. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, I got a frog in my throat. Don't forget. Don't forget, coming up, they should be here any minute. We're going to be having traffic talk. Let's take a quick break and come back.
Yeah.
Radio never sounded like this.
Radio never sounded like this, sounded like this.
98.9 Win FM.
Win FM.
It's not just a new year, it's a you year. It's time to put yourself first and build a strong financial foundation. And that's where we can help. At Sagicor, we have the experience, expertise, and extensive proven financial solutions to help put your goals in the spotlight. Whether you want to protect yourself from the unexpected or set a financial plan for the long-awaited, we are here for you. Visit Sagicor.com to get started. You deserve it.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
8:33 Island Tea, Island Chat. We got Unoma Allen, our guest host, in the building, along with AZ. And
Azard Gumbs.
Yo. My name is AZ, and I'm here to say.
That's what Jamso like to call me, but I like my Christian name.
What does Azard mean? Where did that come from?
It means, it actually has Indian, Pakistani descent. It means it's pronounced Azad. It means freedom.
Freedom, Azad. I shall now call you Azad because my name is an Igbo name out of Nigeria, and the right pronunciation is Unoma.
Oh.
And with that, we're gonna go here from our spot. Hey, that was
I have an African name as well. It's a Kinwule.
Okay, guys.
So
okay, guys. It's time for traffic talk. Time for traffic talk. Okay, let's go hear from our sponsor. It's 8:34.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. What's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. I warn all drivers to take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Slow it down, slow it down. Hey, Roger, watch out for them donkey. Hey. Slow it down, man. Hey. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down, down. Especially by the school zone. The dot road procedure, Granny reminisce about how it used to be more safer. They used to travel without the fear of getting hit by a speeding vehicle.
8:38, and it's time for today's edition of Traffic Talk. It's we got a full house. We have our guest host, Unoma Allen, AZ, and of course we've got the officers, the inspector and sergeant on duty. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnston.
Hi, good morning. It's a pleasure to have you here again this morning. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys having a wonderful? Have you guys had a wonderful weekend?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. What were you?
Yes, I did, Azard.
Great,
I
great.
want to know what was the highlight of your weekend. Each of you. Tell me one thing that was like superb. For you.
Cause they here smiling, you know. They
Yes.
really like they had a good
Like
weekend.
these are police officers. So like, tell me something. What was something? What was the highlight of your week?
I went to church, yes, as usual, and the message was superb.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. I know a good message in church can just set your whole week.
A nice praise and worship session in church as well.
And the topic was about worshiping.
Awesome.
Okay. And for you?
Well, mine's on Saturday, the Unique Touch Christian Center, Sandy Point, they celebrated 20 years. And so they had their banquet at Ramada. It was awesome.
Great.
Wait, and you ain't tell me. Wait. I am doggy bag queen. Eh?
Trust me, the tickets sold like hot bread and butter. So
That's
next time I'll make
wonderful.
sure I note you down.
Ramada, but I don't go nowhere. All I want is the food. That's all I just want. Come for the food. And
Yes.
I don't have to sit down there.
Yes.
But what was the highlight of your weekend?
That's a good question.
Okay, after the talk.
There's so many things.
All right, ladies. So we're going to talk about, firstly, the new set of traffic lights about to take over St. Kitts, at least the word out area.
Yes. And as we know, traffic light comes in 3 different colors. We have the red, which is to tell you to stop.
Yes. Please repeat that to the.
Is the amber?
We have the red, which tells you to stop. Then after the red, will follow by the green light that gives you the go ahead.
Yes.
And then after the green is the amber or the yellow light, where some persons think it is for them to rush through the traffic. No, it's alerting you that coming up is the red light. If you can proceed with caution, then you go ahead. But if you cannot, you stop.
Yes.
Because you don't know when the red light will come on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fair to rush through the traffic. And we had 3 phases of commission of traffic lights in St. Kitts. The first one was 2018.
Yes.
And it was 3 sets of traffic lights. We had on Keon Street and Victoria Road, 4th Street. We had 4th Street and the Bay Road. And the third one was Baker's Corner. In 2022, we had 6 traffic lights commissioned. And these lights were Keon Street and College Street. We had College Street and Bay Road. We had West and East Port Zante. We had Sandon Road, and we had Wellington Road by Horsford Gas Station. Last week, Wednesday, now we had the final one, which was Birdwalk and the Bay Road.
Is it on now?
Yes, it is, as of last week, Wednesday.
My mode of transportation is P2. So this is really instrumental for me to listen to. Okay,
yes, we had the final one, which was done last week, Wednesday, about Minster 2 in the Birdwalk and the Bay Road area. And some changes have been made in that area. The entrance, the entrance that we used to use to go into cash and carry is now the exit. The exit is the entrance. So when you come from the Bay Road, you go straight into cash and carry.
Make total sense. Nice flow.
It also have a lane on the right side when you're traveling from Deepwater Port or Hobson Enterprise going towards Central Bank. Mm-hmm. And the inner one will take you into Rams Cash and Carry or the food court. But you have to wait for the light or the arrow that gives you direction to go into it.
Into cash and carry.
Yes. And when you exit in, you come out on the side road between Rams Cash and Carry and Rams parking lot. But you cannot take a left turn to go back down on the main road because that road now has become a one-way traffic. And traffic is only flowing from west to east.
So only from Birdwalk?
You only can come in from the left. You cannot take a right turn from the Deepwater Port into that road. If you're coming from Central Bank, you can take the left up into that road. Mm-hmm. If you're coming from Horsford direction, Hobson, you cannot cut across. The traffic cannot go right. There's a sign on the left telling you no right turn.
Okay.
Yes.
Unoma looks like she's in school.
It seems like physics, but yes.
So, once you come in from Seymour, you cannot come back down that small road. You have to go south and come down by Hobson Enterprises.
Yeah.
But young, it'd be easy on tickets, you know what I mean? Like, is there a grace
Well, there's going to be a grace period now.
Okay.
But maybe by next month, the middle of next month, then. So I'm just here to educate the persons of that. You also have a slip lane when you're coming from the Bay Road.
Yes.
Going to Birdwalk on the left. You don't have to wait for the light. You come out, and if nothing is coming from Deepwater Port, you proceed in the main lane.
So therefore, if you're on the slip lane, and so you're not controlled by the traffic.
No.
Okay then.
Is
so
the
you're
one
not.
on the left?
It's the one on the left, close to TDC Automotive.
Right, the left. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I recognize that one.
So so once the path is clear,
You
regardless
proceed.
of the light,
You proceed. Yes.
Okay.
But
There's not a light control in that lane.
But if you're going to turn right to go Birdwalk,
You have to wait for that light to change.
Also, if traffic is flowing in the lane, you have to give way. You on the slip lane have to give way to traffic on your right.
You know that's interesting because I was driving across, I think on Saturday, and there was someone in the slip lane, and I was like, well, why he wait on the traffic lights? So now I understand.
The light is not controlling that one.
A good point.
Also, when you're traveling from south to north or north to south, and you want to turn right into the Bay Road, there's an arrow telling you can go if the light is green, solid green, and nothing is proceeding from the opposite direction, you'll be able to turn. If nothing is coming.
so even though there's a light there.
Yes, if it's solid green and nothing is coming from the opposite direction,
Oh yes, yeah.
you can turn. But some people usually wait until the arrow comes on.
Oh, but that doesn't stand for by the Treasury. The old
Yes,
Treasury.
the same
You're
thing.
kidding.
Yes, it does. And even by Rams
You're
on the
kidding.
Bay Road. Yes.
We're not being there waiting
No.
patiently.
No.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait.
No, if nothing is coming from the opposite direction, the path is clear, you can turn.
Once it's green.
Once it's solid green.
Yes.
And so you don't have to wait on the arrow.
No, you don't.
You know, I did that once, and then someone tell me, "Oh, you have to wait on the arrow."
No.
I would be in the center lane, you know, by the old church, and people blowing behind me like,
because
I'm not moving. I'm not moving.
You're waiting on that arrow.
No. Once nothing is coming from west, you can turn.
You know, I'm curious to see. I'm proud of saying it's an event, but I'm curious to see the culture of the traffic lights. Because in certain other islands, I know for sure St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they had traffic lights before we did, and they're gone. They've dismantled them. They're just gone back to normal. You know, police directing, or you waiting on the kindness of your fellow vehicle traffickers. In Curacao, I have a cousin. They once had traffic lights, but they're doing away with them and going into roundabouts and installing roundabouts because, according to them, traffic accidents were still kind of massive. But I guess it depends on the nature of the people, the culture, you know, how aggressive they are. And I think from the St. Vincent point of view, I think maintenance of the traffic lights had an issue, was an issue. So I'm looking forward to seeing St. Kitts and Nevis setting the bar.
As we always do.
So do we have local technicians?
Yes, we do.
Who are able to maintain?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I miss the police directing traffic though, you know. But you know what I'm jealous of? Those people learning to drive.
You mean having to drive in the traffic?
No, in 4th Street, come out to 4th Street. Back in my time, you had to sweat and you had to show your ability to be aggressive. Now, people learning to drive, they just wait on the traffic lights.
Yeah.
There's no initiative. You ain't getting no license now. Especially if in a standard car. You can imagine being in a standard at the top of 4th Street. And you're a learner, you're getting the police in the back of the car, you know. So you gotta show this person that you could drive. You have to look left, right. I say, okay, I could come out now.
Yeah.
But now things easy. Nobody should be failing their license.
Unless they still go on the small street.
I don't know where they take it for the test.
No, they're not.
They're
not.
So,
no,
right.
Street.
So they don't have the...
Right.
Yes, but you have, for me, taking on the small street, it lets you know how to maneuver out of a small space.
Yes.
Yeah, it's you know, and I used to like, when you got to learn to drive, the people who live in the area used to sit down. Just watch the learners just muck up. But yes, okay, so the traffic lights make life easy.
And this came about because of the vast majority of vehicles that we get on a monthly basis now. So I'll turn you over to the inspector who's going to tell you how to go about when you're doing the registration of vehicles.
Yes, because registration is important.
Yes.
Okay, when you're dealing with registration, we have a number of businesses such as Hosford, TDC, CNC, and courts. They are known as dealers. So we have the new system now, which is the vehicle and registration system, where they can the dealers upload the vehicle information, and we would see it at the traffic department and attach a number to it. But if you are purchasing your own vehicle and you are bringing it in from wherever and they come to the port, you have to first get a certificate to grant registration. That is at the port. After you paid your monies, they would grant you a form which says certificate to grant registration. You must bring that form to the traffic department along with the original documents for that vehicle. At the traffic department now, we would register that vehicle in the name of the persons that is on the certificate to grant registration. After that, you will go and get your insurance and maybe start to make your plates. And before you go back to the port, you come back to the traffic department with your insurance, and we would give you a form which would allow you to move that vehicle from the port and take it whether to the inspection site or drive it home. But it must be done within a specific time. We have persons also too who probably would have bought another vehicle and used the number, but some of them not thinking that I'm supposed to go to the traffic department to re-register my vehicle. Sometimes they just take the number and put it on their new vehicle and think, but no, once you sell your vehicle or you're purchasing a new vehicle, you must come to the traffic department to re-register that vehicle.
Yes.
You know what I'm curious about? You know, technology and the advancements. in moving from point A to point B, I've noticed that there's this new thing where like a mechanized element is attached to like a bicycle. So instead of you pedaling, it's like an amateur moped. Have you noticed them?
You mean those bikes?
Yes, but they are propelled by like an engine.
Yeah, in fact, we had a discussion.
That is illegal.
Before, yes. Right now, it's illegal.
Okay.
It is illegal.
It's illegal to
yes.
have them on the road?
Yeah, we had a discussion about that, the makeshift bikes and whether or not,
It's a great idea, though. But
until something is put before the House of Assembly, then.
Yeah.
But for now, it's illegal.
Because they can't be insured,
it's a pedal, right?
Yeah.
It's a pedal bicycle, and it is meant to pedal.
You guys want to take a call?
Sure, we'll take calls. Caller, you're live on Traffic Talk.
You're on the air. Okay, so I guess here we go. There's another call coming in. Traffic Talk, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Good thing. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. Police without pay.
Yes.
I have a suggestion. A lot of people still confused with the verbal direction of the traffic light up by Boardwalk. And I think what the traffic should do, you all could rotate police. At least when you all have a certain amount of vehicles that traverse that traffic light, and show them practically how the signs, where they are, the signs on the light, how they go. Because people still confused about that. Really, really confused. All week they've been talking about it. That is my suggestion on that. And these bikes now that we've been complaining about, that they rectify and put on a motor instead of pedaling the bike and depending on the motor. I noticed they slow down, but they gone back on the four-wheel and they take off the exhaust. So they're making actually more noise than all the pedal bike with the motor on it now. They're deliberately doing it, and they're not using no helmet, nothing on the head. That means to show the people them that they don't care what the police them say or the law. They're going to do what they want to do. And I think the traffic department should have enough vehicle, but I know they have a lot of motorcycle up there, up the police station, up the village. If they didn't sell them, I'll throw them away. They can be fixed easily because the front end of those motorbikes, they did not crash. It's a little technical problem in the engine and the alternator them, why they park up there. So I think they should get them fixed and let the police them go on them and patrol the street. Got too many people on the street driving up and down the place as though they don't know how to drive. Some of them really, they buy the license. That's why you see people that get locked up in the sell license. So you all need to go on the road and check them out, please. And there is a good mechanic who can fix those motorcycles for the police department. His name is Will DeGrasse. He's very good on motorcycles. So those are my advice to the traffic department. PWOP. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you so much. So he's saying that people are still unsure about how to navigate the new lights at Boardwalk, and something needs to be done to help the understanding of how to traverse them.
Yes, thank you, caller, for that. When they started on Wednesday, we were out there after 2 and we went back at 4 o'clock. So we're telling person, the light is on now, and this is how you're supposed to proceed. Yes, we'll continue doing that. We'll continue educating the drivers. Because after next month, the 15th, then we'll start issuing tickets.
What?
Yes.
But look, I don't have a vehicle. I treat myself to a rental ever so often. Suppose men do that till after the point in time that you stated.
Yeah, but that was the grace period. Yes, Naomi.
What? Watch me and them, I just get it. I may know.
Yes, as some people say, I just buy the car from this person and I didn't know he had on tint. Ignorance is an excuse to the law.
Oh!
You just have to make sure they remove it before you exchange your monies. remove the tint.
Just pan number, like further down the industrial site and walk.
It is so, okay, it might be difficult for some persons. But once you look at the light and you check the signs, because the signs are erected where persons can see them. It's not they are hiding. They're right there on either the lamp pole or on the fence of cash and carry, because when you're coming out, you see exit only. You see there's no entrance. So once you look, some people don't like to look. They think, okay, this is how it goes and this is what I'm going to do. But we have to educate ourselves as others. The police are here to educate, and yes, you have to do it.
Also, with that junction up there, if you are coming out of cash and carry using the food court end, you cannot make that right turn. You cannot make the right turn if you are exiting from the food court. That's at Ramsburg Rock. You'll have to go left.
And go up by Hobson.
Yes, otherwise you'll be cutting across the traffic, yes.
Okay.
Guys, want to take another call?
Sure.
Traffic talk, you're on the air. Okay, that person hung up. Call back, caller. Okay, you guys can go ahead in the meantime. Okay, here we have another call. Traffic talk, you're on the air.
Hi, good morning to all.
Good morning.
Traffic department, just give people time with those lights that butter up and they will come around. That's all they need sometimes.
I think so. 2 months.
And what about those bicycles that carry those battery packs?
Yeah, those were
the bikes also.
Those were what they were talking about earlier.
No, you can't make sure he was talking about those with the engine, the engines them.
No, I don't think it's.
Those are the makeshift that they attach the engine to.
I guess there was some, because somebody else asked me about that, so it could be that that wasn't clear then, because someone.
Thank you. It wasn't.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So explain what you meant by the makeshift or the.
The makeshift is where someone take a pedal bicycle and attach a motor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bike with a motor, like a motorcycle.
Right. Not the motorcycle, no. A pedal bicycle where you take a motor and attach it to it to make it free from pedaling.
Yes.
And anything that have a motor or engine, it must be registered.
Yes.
Must be registered. So it's up to the insurance if they're going to accept them. So long as the insurance doesn't accept them, it cannot be registered.
Because you mentioned Parliament as well would have to.
Yes. Yes. For any alteration in the law, then it would have to go through Parliament.
Well, the thing is, it shows ingenuity, It shows intelligence. To be able to
Caller?
do something like that.
Azard.
Yes.
Me again. You have some bikes that have a battery pack with them. You don't have to pedal them. Just something in the handle you use and the bike gone. That is what I'm talking about.
Oh. Okay.
It would be the same sort of thing.
You don't have no engine attached to them, not anything. Something in the wheel.
Yeah. I think what he's saying here, the bike comes with
like
it already, rather than it is being altered from a pedal bike.
It does not have an engine. It does not have an engine. It's just some kind of mechanism in the wheel that causes it to go on its own.
Okay. I don't think.
I haven't seen any here. I don't know about any here. I don't know if we have.
But the same thing would apply.
Yes, we do have. We do, because I'm planning to order one to buy because I've seen them here.
Okay.
But
I think that is different from the makeshift what she's talking about. I think when she speaks of the makeshift, she's speaking of bikes that are normally or that are made to pedal, but you attach an engine to it. Yes. But
we'll have to look into it.
You have to
I don't. Yes.
send us a picture.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd love to see that.
I must admit I'm not, since I was a child, I haven't been venturing on bikes, so I don't know the latest technology as it relates, but he's speaking about a bike that's actually built in to push forward.
We can have a conversation on that and see how it goes.
Yes. But thank you for your contribution, Carlo.
Yes, and as the inspector was talking about the registration, when you leave the inland revenue, when you leave the insurance, you have to go to inland revenue to register the vehicle, to pay for that number before you make the plate. Then after you go back to the traffic department, then is where we give you the permission slip to go to the port to clear it. So you have to go to Inland Revenue after the insurance.
Okay. So you must have insurance and Inland Revenue.
Yes, because Inland Revenue they're going to register something without insurance.
Right, right. And you are not going to give anybody permission unless they can present
The insurance, yes.
We have another call. Let's take this quickly. Okay, that caller hung up.
Okay.
Well, you seem to have some gained some interest out of the public. This is wonderful that they're so engaged and so concerned about traffic matters that they're eager to call and to share their views. And
so we'll be there in the area to educate persons still about the light in Bird Rock and Bay Road. But persons are still turning right when they're not supposed to turn right in areas.
Which is understandable. I mean, we've been doing it for decades, so it's a new change. So
no, but I'm talking about these lights that were commissioned last year.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Persons are still turning right.
I can see that too.
You're coming from the police station end on Cairn Street, and you're turning right into College Street. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a sign coming up to you saying no right turn.
May never notice that sign. But,
yes.
Okay.
Look at it on your left.
Okay.
And when you're coming from the cemetery end, going to the police station end, there's one telling you can turn right down into College Street. Cut. And also by Church Street.
Yes, yes. Okay, and you can't turn right across West Independence? I mean,
no.
If you
and you can turn right up to Victoria Road coming from the police end.
You can't turn
right.
Right, okay. Mm-hmm. But some people still turn.
Right now, person's turning for sure in College Street and just out here by Port Zante.
Wait, wasn't there a change here at Port Zante?
Yes, when you're coming out of Port Zante, you can turn left or right. But when you're coming from the post office end, you should not turn right into Port Zante.
I think because Unoma doesn't drive often, that's why it seems a bit much. But trust me, when you're on the road, you get used to it.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. When you're on the road, you get used to it.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. And consider extending for another month. I'm making a
But that's a month. That's a month.
No, 2 months. Like, and you said the next month is when ticketing will start in the border.
When we put down this 6 last year, we gave them a month grace period. We had the traffic wardens out there, educating them, telling them, you shouldn't turn here, you shouldn't turn here. Right.
They're like a stern mother at times. No. I'm like, what I do? It's like flashback time, but they take their job seriously.
So we'll educate the drivers.
Okay. And we're looking forward to that because we don't want any accidents, we don't want any mishaps, we want a flow.
And person like Unoma who says she doesn't drive often, you can listen to the programs daily sometimes.
Okay, all right.
So to recap on the directions in which you are, where you're supposed to use the traffic light. For example, as the sergeant said, if you're proceeding towards Bird Rock End from the Bay Road, you can make that right turn, but you must be cautious into Best Buy as well. You take the slip lane, and that will take you to the Central Bank direction, and the right will take you to the Bird Rock direction. Also remember that the road that leads to Seymour, that's a one-way. You cannot, if you're traveling from Seymour, you can no longer travel across that road and make the left. As we said, it's a one-way. And if you're exiting the Rams parking lot via the food court, you cannot make that right turn. You'll have to go left and come back down or proceed in any direction where you want to go to.
So if I'm exiting Cash and Carry along that small side street between Cash and Carry and the parking lot for Rams, I have to turn right or left?
Right. Remember, it's a one-way, so you cannot make that left turn.
I can't make the left. Okay.
But you can go straight over into Rams if you want to go to the other.
So it's only up. I have to go turn right past Seymour and go wherever I need to go. So it's only you can only go up that road, and you can turn left up it from the main road.
Yes, if
you're coming from
Central Bank side.
Yes.
Okay.
Also remember, if there's a solid green light and no traffic traveling coming from the opposite direction, you can proceed.
Yeah, I love that.
So we want to thank the officers here who came and spoke about the registration and the traffic lights at Bird Rock. It has been a good discussion. We had a few callers, and I'm sure the audience or those listening have been a bit more informed. And of course, we ask you to look forward to us next week on another edition of Traffic Talk.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all the hurry?
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Island Tea Time, 9:10, and we're standing by to join Troy Lyman. He is a CCM representative. He's going to be joining us via Zoom. That's going to be starting momentarily. In the meantime, we got our co-host, Unoma Allen. Nice to have you.
It's lovely being here, man. It's a great start to the day.
She's had a very wonderful start, you know.
And the stiff waist man, AZ.
At Gumbs here with you.
Azard. No, yes. Azard.
Azard.
Yes. I'm Unoma, you are Azard.
Or you could call me Akinwole.
Akinwole. How to spell that?
Akinwole. It's AKINWOLE with a apostrophe over the E. Okay. Akinwole. The Honorable Troy Libert is on air now, Unoma.
Good morning, Honorable Troy Libert. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. And how are you?
I'm fantastic. Well, what we've been asking everyone so far is, how was your weekend? What was the highlight of your weekend?
My weekend was great. And
what was the one thing that made it so?
I spent it with my daughters and my nieces. That was probably the
so you.
But also, yesterday I went to the Jinxing Up sports meet.
Oh, you must be grinning from ear to ear.
Actually, yeah. I was very pleased that one of the two schools from Nevis that went to the meet emerged as the overall winner. That's the Charlestown Secondary School, and I want to say kudos to Charlestown Secondary School.
Much respect.
Of course, the Gingerland Secondary School also did very well. They were able to get 6 schools and a total of 18 medals. 17 medals, sorry. Oddly enough, Charlestown Secondary School won 18 medals overall, but they had 10 goals.
Yes,
yes. They were really selective about how they went after these medals.
Oh, it's a strategy.
And I felt really good. I'm the Minister of Education, of course, and I'm also the Minister of Sports.
Ooh.
Here, so it was double joy for.
It was a great weekend for you.
Yeah.
Yes, well, congratulations to you and the Divisions and to the Charlestown Secondary School and the Gingerland Secondary School for such a commendable performance at the first ever Jinxing.
Classic.
Yes.
Charlestown Secondary School Lions, they got 18 medals, 10 gold.
Yeah.
Bastia High School came in at second with 8 gold medals, and Washington Archibald High.
The thing about it,
placed third.
Jump in again. The thing about it is that this sports meet came right down to the wire, down to the last few races. I think Charlestown, they got their last gold medal on the last race of the day. So they were on 9 for a while, and if Bastia had won another one, Bastia probably
would have tied.
They would have both been on 9, and Bastia had more
silver
medals. So Charlestown really needed to pull out all of the stops. And in that final race, Bastia was in the lead on the first leg of the race. So it was very
pandemonium, man.
And I want to, of course, congratulate the Ministry of Sports over on St. Kitts, who were the organizers of the meet, and of course the sponsors, Jinxing Up, and the I think it's Carib Breweries. They were the sponsors through Jinxing Up, of course.
Right.
And it's all wonderful. It's about getting our athletes as much exposure as possible. And they will only get better if they're running in more and more track meets.
Correct.
Yes.
So I think the idea is to put on more and more meets so that our athletes would have more opportunities to run against each other and to get that exposure and to therefore be able to get better. So kudos to all those involved in the organizing. Of course, my ministry here on Nevis would have assisted our schools with their travel to and from St. Kitts. We're 2 islands, and so when we do meets on one island or the next, it involves quite a bit of travel. So I was very happy that the ministry could assist our schools.
Excellent.
Yes, that's good. Let me ask you a question then. The increase in meets, I think, it would create some some excitement for persons who are participating and also those who are looking on, because I find Kittitians and Divisions, they really enjoy a good track and field. What is the difference though between the meet and the inter-school competition? What would be the difference there?
Well, I think this was an opportunity, sort of a dress rehearsal for an inter-high, of course. I think in this meet, each school was allowed 1 student.
Oh.
The school would select a student and place them in each race, whether it's 100 meter, 200 meter, whatever the case may be. At the inter-high, I think schools can nominate more athletes, and then they go through the rounds. They have preliminary rounds and so on, and then the best of the best go to the finals. In a meet like this, it would be up to the school to select an athlete. So it might not necessarily be the best of the best, because anything in track and field, anything can happen. A student can peak. An athlete can peak early.
Yes.
Another athlete can be peaking late. So one person could be winning earlier in the semester in the year, and later down, closer to the inter-high, another student might be at their peak. So, sports is about participating, and it's about on the day.
Yes. Question. I know that the Nevis Island Assembly met last week in relation to its budget. Could you tell us how the presentation has been in the House? Could you tell us what has been some of the Nevis Island administration's main focus areas as it relates to the budget?
I'm partial because, of course,
yes.
I'm a member of the government, and I'm a CCM. I'm actually the chairperson of the CCM party, and so that comes with, its own thing. But yeah, we were happy to do the budget. As you know, normally around here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we try to get our budgets done in December.
Yes.
The law does give us 60 days into the new year to get the budget done. But December is normally the time. I think we were planning to go in December. All through the year, we were already planning that. Of course, we had to deal with a federal election earlier in the year, which was not planned, of course. And then we came out of that, and we had a few things that happened, and the elections got pushed to early December. I think it was on the 12th. And, of course, CCM emerged victorious. We have a bit of a slimmer mandate now, a smaller mandate, in that we lost our St. James's seat, which was a seat that Alexis Jeffers previously held, and CCM has held that seat for quite a while. So that pushed the budget back to last week. But I think it went pretty well for us. The budget is one that brings some hope to the people of Nevis. I think some highlights from the budget. Of course, I'm in education, so I'll start off with something in education that the Premier said that we're definitely looking to in this term, moving our sixth form, which is currently on the campus of Charlestown Secondary and has been there for some time since its inception. We are looking to move it off campus and to come with a full-fledged community college, which of course the Premier said that we would like to name after our first Premier here on Nevis, the late great Sir Simeon Daniel, so Dr. Simeon Daniel, of course. So that is something that we are looking to do. We want that to be a highlight of this term. He also spoke about the airport. We are looking to do some expansion on the airport and some, we call sprucing up of the airport, some renovations and some upgrades to the airport. I think we are looking at about another 1,500 feet of runway, and of course we would strengthen the runway and all of those things, get it up to an international standard so that we can take what we call regional jets. These are these jets that would come out of the US and so on. They can carry just over 100 passengers. So we would be looking to significantly improve what we do at the airport. We believe that if we're able to get these upgrades done, that it would allow for us to bring a lot more airlift into the island. Of course, we get a lot of high-end tourists, and we have an expat community that has quite a bit of persons who have access to private jets and so on. And we would also want to cater for them in a sort of way. We want to go into a sort of niche market. And of course, at the same time, our people here in the Federation would be able to access transport out of the Van Samry International Airport once we are able to do those upgrades. And of course, this is something that we are hopeful is going to be a public-private partnership. You would have heard I don't know if you would have heard, but the opposition NRP, of course, would have been going around and talking that the government is selling out the airport and that we have entered into deals with persons. And That is, of course, not the case. At all material times, well, we have not entered into any contractual arrangement with anybody at this point. We are in some discussions, but at all material times, the airport is going to remain the property of the people of Nevis. A CCM in government, we're not going to give away the airport or anything, mortgage the airport like that. You would remember, Azard, that years ago, the airport lands in Nevis were mortgaged to the SIDF. You would remember that for I think something like $4 million. And it was what you would want to call a shady transaction, because the $4 million came from the SIDF and the money did not go into the Nevis Island Administration. Some of the money went to NEPA, which is the Nevis Investment Promotion Agency, which is a statutory body. And then some of the money was routed to the craft house. So the money went to NEPA, touched their account, and then left from there. Then the money went to the craft house, touched the craft house account, and then it left from there. And it went to, some individuals here on Nevis. And that was the way how the NRP operated in government. So, you could understand that they believe everybody is like them. And that once they see something happening, they would want to have people believe that we are doing things in the same vein that they did. But we are not like that. We are all about the people of Nevis. So I believe that the airport is going to be a huge deal once we get it, to happen. And I'm very confident that it's going to happen. The wheels have already started turning on making that project happen. So that was another highlight of the budget, of course. And then I want to mention geothermal. Geothermal is something that we have heard about in the Federation
for quite some time.
Very long time.
Quite
very,
some
very
time.
Successive governments have spoken about geothermal. Geothermal would have started way back in the early 2000s. We started talking about geothermal. And I'll tell you, one thing that all of these successive governments have had in common in relation to geothermal is that we have the resource. Nevis has a very, very viable resource when it comes to geothermal. Of course, Azard, you would be aware that my formal training is as a civil engineer, and I've done quite a bit of training in the aspects of electricity and so on, and in geothermal. I've had some training in geothermal itself. So when I talk about geothermal, I talk about it from a position of actually knowing what I'm saying. Okay? And so we've been down this road for a long time. NRP got into government in 2006. We were already on the path for geothermal, working with our regional partners. That path was stopped. We went into a relationship with West Indies Power. By the time CCM got in 2013, we were just coming out of the arrangement with West Indies Power. The NRP had terminated the arrangement with West Indies Power because they realized West Indies Power could not deliver. Okay, so we came in and we met that. Then we had to deal with some lawsuits. Okay? And after dealing with those lawsuits, we cleared the way for the Nevis Island Administration to start negotiating with other partners. We got some assistance from the United States Energy Desk, from their Foreign Affairs Energy Desk, and they assisted us with getting some consultants and so on from Deloitte. We eventually signed off on a deal with a company called NREI, who all indications at the time was that they would be able to deliver. Going down the road now, we realized that they were not able to deliver, of course. We're talking about a big money project. But over the years, I think after 2013, the Caribbean Development Bank, because the world is now moving a lot into renewable energy and so on. Yes. The Caribbean Development Bank developed what they called a drill risk fund. And they wanted to leverage money that was out there in the international market so that we here in the Caribbean region, we in the OECS and so on, the CARICOM region, that we could be able to access that funding. And I think they created the fund in late 2014, and then the fund was operationalized, I think it's either 2015 or 2016. They got money from the IDB, and they also got money from the World Bank. So there was a lot of money out there to do projects such as these. But by the time this drill risk fund came online, we were already involved with NREI, okay? So it took some time. They could not deliver. That relationship, came to an end, and we are now going down the road with the Caribbean Development Bank. And we were able to access some money recently, just in December last year. I think everything was finalized for, it's a sort of loan structure where once we are successful in getting our production wells done and the resource is proven and it's seen that, hey, the project is going to be a success, then it's a soft loan at a very low interest rate.
Okay.
If we are not successful, then it becomes a grant. So St. Kitts and Nevis, we don't lose any money really on this project. So if we don't get the resource, it's a grant. If we get the resource, then it becomes a soft loan. And both islands would be able to benefit from this project. Based on what I understand is going to be done, it will be beneficial to both islands. The resource is there, and the resource is far more energy than we would require here. And this, of course, in order to get things rolling with the CDB, we had to get the sign-off of the Prime Minister, as it is with most CDB projects. So over the years, when we have done CDB projects here in Nevis, we have had to get the sign-off from the federal government. So we were able to get that sign-off, and so now we are well on the way with the geothermal. So in the past, the big problem with getting geothermal done has been the resources. I think we are in the position now where we have been able to overcome that hurdle.
Okay, excellent. I'm sure a lot of persons are looking forward to this. And of course, it's when you're dealing with geothermal, you have to be very careful as well, because there's some repercussions if you have not managed that sort of energy efficiently and correctly. Another question that we had, I know there was on Inside the News this week, last Saturday, which was the last edition, they spoke about the healthcare in Nevis, and they spoke about the hospital. I think in the budget, I think the ruling party, which is your government, indicated about the completion of a hospital. Yes, so I think there were some critics as to whether or not that hospital could be completed in the time given.
Azard, there are some persons who are always negative. They're always looking for something negative to talk about. The hospital project is one that has been ongoing for a little while. It's a construction project, and it's not a normal construction project. A hospital is a very peculiar type of construction.
Yes.
The structure looks the same, but there's a lot that goes into it. The electricity, the specifications for the electricity have to be different. The specifications for the plumbing has to be different. So basically, the NIA got underway with this hospital project, and when we got underway with the project, we got some assistance from people like PAHO and so on, who are experts in health. And basically, as we were going along the way, we sought more and more expertise.
Yeah.
When we came to the point where, we needed to do the interior and so on, we got some advice from persons who build hospitals regularly, because a hospital has to have a certain type of flow, as you would know.
Yeah.
You can't just put pediatrics next to maternity. I'm only talking here about different things. I'm no health expert. But what I do know is I know construction and I understand construction. Okay?
Yeah.
And when you're building something for a specific purpose, it's always good to get advice from experts in that area. And so we took some advice from experts, and then we had to make a few changes. Of course, COVID-19, we keep just, people keep just glossing over COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 changed the world. So now, when you want to order anything from overseas, there's a long lead time on it. Things like windows and other things that you needed to get for the building, the lead time on them was very, very long. For instance, I think now if you're trying to get transformers and so on for electricity, the lead time on them is almost a year. So in construction, and hospital requires very specific things. So the building now, the major structural work is complete, and what is being done there now is to outfit the building. And when we started speaking about the hospital project, we spoke about it as a new wing to the hospital. But the truth and the fact is that this new wing that is being built is 2.5 times the original size of the hospital. So it's 2.5 times bigger than the hospital that was there all the time. So the new wing is in fact a hospital in itself. And so you can't expect that you're going to do a hospital and construction on the hospital is going to be finished just like that. In construction requires money. If you have the cash flow, then you can probably go out and you can build as fast as you want to build. You can probably hire 5, 6 construction companies or whatever, and you can have it go up in a heartbeat. But if you don't have the money, you have to build at a certain pace. And you know, that is the case. We have to understand that these are small islands, and we are taking big steps, but we are breaking up these big steps into little smaller chunks that we can manage, and we go along. So I have no doubt in my mind that the hospital will be complete, and it will be complete in short order. We expect to have some things done this year so that we can start operationalizing what we call the new wing of the hospital. We might as well just start calling it the new hospital because it's such a large project.
Okay. Well, we know too that there has been some happenings, for lack of a better expression right now, as it relates to the NRP and the leadership. Currently, there's no leader of the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly. NRP really gave the CCM party a run for its money in 2022 in the local elections. The CCM succeeded in retaining 3 seats, whereas the NRP gained 1 additional seat. And now when persons...
By the leader of the party.
Yes, by the leader of the party.
Right.
And when we had now thought that the NRP would be in a stronger position to challenge the CCM, especially in the Nevis Island Assembly, we see that there has been some sort of, there has been an impasse, a disagreement, and we have seen the resignation of a member. What are your thoughts on that?
Resignation?
You know, it's unfortunate, of course, because persons who put themselves up to be leaders, leadership comes with a certain level of dignity and so on. And it really looks bad to see what's going on out there. I have not gotten myself involved in it, of course, because I'm a member of the CCM, so
yes.
I am not too much worried about what's going on over on the other side in the NRP. But what we saw manifesting in the NRP after the election is something that has been boiling up for a long time, you know. They have some serious problems over there in the NRP. And it shows people the type of people that we are dealing with. It shows you the type of persons who want to put themselves up to be leaders. And I think that the representative for St. Thomas's, when she made her budget presentation, that she summed it up nicely, because she said, if the NRP could be doing these things to one of their own, imagine, God forbid, and these are her words, imagine, God forbid, if things had gone differently and they had won, what they could have been doing to the people of Nevis. And that I think is the message that we got to take from this thing, because these people, they're about themselves. I mean, if you look at it, we have the court case. I think the judge is supposed to be giving his
ruling by 9 o'clock.
It started at 9 o'clock, and we are hopeful for a good result. I think what it is that we're trying to see if a petition was put in to have the case dismissed, without going forward. I don't believe that the case, either of the two cases, that they have much merit. I was able to read both of the cases. And these guys came with persons who are properly registered, because somebody used to be registered in St. John's and they moved somewhere else and they registered, say, in Gingerland. And their complaint is that the person did not vote in St. John's. They were not on the list in St. John's, but that the persons are registered. There are other persons who they claim are CCM supporters and they're registered in St. John's, and they live in St. John's, and they're making noise and saying that the persons were not taken off of the list. And, I think that when it comes to the NRP, that if things don't suit their purpose, then they're wrong. And if things suit their purpose, then it's right. A good case in point is this. The leader of the NRP was happy to come to the parliament, and I congratulated her. We get along very well, I think. I congratulated her on her win in the elections. But she was happy to come to the parliament and stand up and speak in the parliament and so on, having won by 8 votes. Okay? Using the same system that they are taking to court. They're taking Spencer Brand to court, saying Spencer Brand won by, I think it's 29 or 30, something like that. Okay? They're taking Mark Grantley to court. Mark Grantley won by 160 plus. Okay? He won by 8 votes. Okay? He's happy to come to the parliament. Everything is okay, winning by 8 votes. But Mark Grantley, who won by well over 100, and Spencer Brand, who won by 3 or 4 times as much as he won by, something is wrong with the election. And it goes to the hypocrisy of the NRP.
So you're saying that the only time they find irregularities are in the constituencies that they were unsuccessful in. That's what you're saying.
Because this is not about what's in the best interest of Nevis or Nevis people. This is about what's in their own best interest. I mean, if these people could try to go on over by the airport and so on to say they're having protests with 5-6 people over there by the airport, trying to make this airport project into something bad. The reason why they're doing it is because they don't want it to happen. Because if the project happens, the people of Nevis will say that the government, which happens to be CCM, is doing something good for Nevision. So they don't want to see it happen. Nothing good should happen for Nevis people while CCM is in government. And that is what they believe. So if tomorrow morning, God forbid, they were in government, they would want to do the same thing and they would say, it's great. So it's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to the NRP. And you see it playing out even within the NRP. That if somebody inside the NRP is not towing the line or the conventional line that NRP wants them to tow, then they start to, do all manner of things to the person. I don't think that there's anything left for the supporters of the NRP to say about their representative for St. Thomas's. And oddly enough, when the young lady came into politics, people in NRPC was the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But just a few years after, they have nothing good at all to say about the young lady. And I think it's quite unfortunate because politics should not be like that. I mean, I've been around politics for quite a long time, and, I've never seen anything like that happen, around me. In CCM, of course, we've had some issues, but we sit down and we discuss our issues like adults, and everybody say what they have to say around the table, and then when we're done, we take a drink of water together, and we continue to work for the people of Nevis, because at all material time, the most important thing is to work on behalf of the people. That is why we try to get into leadership. We're not here on some selfish excursion like some other person.
Well, I wish to thank you, Mr. Leibert, for the opportunity that you came. You accepted the invitation to speak on various issues this morning, and of course, we are grateful. And is there anything that you like to say, any lasting words that you like to give for this morning?
Well, Azard, of course, thank you for the opportunity, and Miss Allen, of course, thank you very much for the opportunity to be on Win FM. As you know, I used to be on Win FM regularly.
Yes, yes.
It's been quite a while. I almost forgot how nice it is to be on radio.
Yeah, man, it's a great start to the day.
What's that?
It's a great start to the day.
Yes, it's excellent. Island Tea is an excellent show. I
Thank you.
Turn it on if I'm traveling on the road and I'm heading to my office, and even sometimes I'm in my office. I turn it on while I'm doing what I'm doing, just to get a feel for what's happening in the federation, because I know you guys always bring something good, and I'm hopeful that this show was good this morning and that I brought some information that's good for the general public. So I appreciate the opportunities. Always, important for leaders to come and discuss what's going on, in the country. I'm hopeful that the case would go very good. I think the judgment should have come in by now, so I'm going to go and listen out to hear what has happened. But we continue to work.
Yes.
On behalf of the people. That's what it's really about. I think my last word would be that I want to say congratulations to Charlestown Secondary again. I think they did a wonderful job at the Jinxing Up Sports Meet there yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the Inter-High, certainly. I'm hopeful that they could pull it off again, but if not, I like sports, so I'm hopeful that it's going to be very competitive. You know what would be really good for me? See some of these students that we have, some of our young athletes, take that next step forward, get into some of these colleges, maybe in the US and other places, and really hone that skill and that talent, and become world class and represent us here in the federation and become great. That's what I want for our young people, that they can do great things. So I'm very happy to play a role in helping and supporting our young people to achieve the things that they can achieve.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for spending the time with us.
Yes.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Yeah, Unoma.
Unoma.
Yes, Unoma.
Azard.
Yes. Yes. Very interesting discussion we had there. From the perspective from the CCC's representative, that's the chairperson of the Nevis, the Concerned Citizens Movement. Yes. Troy Leibert.
I find what's happening. I look forward to speaking to a representative from the Nevis Reformation Party on the matter at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
in fact, we're hoping to have a representative tomorrow.
Oh,
yes.
If I could swing it in. Anyway, I'll be listening. But it's really an interesting matter. I don't think Shakespeare could have written a better plot as to what's going on here. And I have not been, my days are extremely busy, and I don't keep my finger to the pulse as much as I should. But when the matter met the airwaves, I heard it.
Yes.
And for me to hear it, that means, the shout is quite loud. And I must say, just for me, I'm not an expert. I'm not a political pundit. I'm someone that you, Azard, or Jamster can never be ever in your life, and that's I'm a woman.
So we're going to have a quick break on that thought.
Yeah, I'll come back with it. Yes. I'll come back with it.
Yes.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Buster! We run things are on we. Buster! Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste. Buster! Bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster! Live in full color.
Buster!
It's 9:48. We're back with Island Tea. The remaining 12 minutes, we got our guest host, Unoma Allen.
Hello, hello, hello.
And AZ.
Azard Gumbs here.
So, we just found out that Trent just showed me there that the case, the NRP case, petition case, that was held in. They had a sitting this. Well, what do you call it? You're a lawyer. So you explain.
I know, right?
So here I'm seeing on the Honorable Matt Brantley's snap that says breaking news: Patricia Bartlett petition struck out by the Nevis High Court. So you could bring a matter to the court, but then as a defense, you could ask for the matter to be struck out if you feel as though the person really has no perspective.
Has no teeth.
Yeah, no real chance of success. And so the judge will listen to the substantial matters and then determine. So here we see that one of the matters, because I'm seeing one so far has been struck.
I was wondering if all of them.
I've seen on this snap. From the snap I'm seeing. J.D. Kane's petition struck out by High Court. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one that has.
That's two now.
Two. Okay.
Yes.
So there's one more to come.
Well, I think those were the two.
Oh, okay.
So today at 9 a.m. Yes. So it says J.D. Kane's petition struck out by High Court and Patricia Bartlett petition struck out by Nevis High Court. So both of them have been struck out.
Okay. Well, they gave it the good old college try. That's what you do. But we look forward to the contributions they're going to make within the political system on Nevis. And I was saying that when I heard the matter coming from the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons and the issue with the opposition leader, deciding on this matter. I'm not an expert, and I'm just giving my opinion. But as a woman, when I heard the matter, so we have the leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, winning in her seat in St. James, and she's the leader of the NRP. And then we have deputy leader of the NRP, Cleon Stapleton Simmons, retaining her seat. And of course, naturally, you think, well, Cleon would have been the opposition.
Yes.
And now the party head has won, I would naturally think that the party head would just, go into that seat.
Yes.
But Deputy Cleon, Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons is saying, no. I've been there before. I have the experience. I should remain. And the first thing that came to my mind, right? The first thing that came to my mind, I'm thinking, so December, results are in, and bam, within a few, this matter is coming out.
Yes.
This is too soon.
Yes.
Something is up. And my sixth woman's intuition sense said something is going on between the two of them for a long time.
Yes.
Something has been brewing, and I feel my sixth sense, right? My sixth sense is saying that Honorable Stapleton Simmons, I get the sense that she has been scorned. And there's no wrath like that of a woman scorned. But I don't know how. I don't know what transpired. I'm not an expert. I don't, I don't live on St. Kitts. I'm from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. But something seemed to have been brewing a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think that whatever had happened in the past, how Honorable Stapleton Simmons interpreted what has happened is manifesting itself right now. And there's a matter for power. Obviously, there's a matter for power. And I just think it's a matter of, I don't know, it's a matter of change perspective.
Let's see what this caller has to say.
Oh, boy, this is I can't wait to see this result.
I call her, go right ahead. Hello? Okay, another call. Let's call her, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning, man. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing
Really
good.
great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, the decision is in, like you guys just mentioned.
Hello?
All right, it looks like he's calling.
Yeah, hello?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, firstly, I want to take it overseas. Ghana has lost a great football player, soccer player, Christian Atsu. He represented his country very well on the international scene, but they have lost a great player in the Turkey earthquake. So I just want to big up him and his family and send my condolences to my people over there in Accra in Ghana. And I wish the country of Ghana best of luck going forward. And I hope they can come out of this and recover with some positive strides.
Right.
But the petition cases in Nevis is very simple to me, man. This is my personal opinion. Those cases, they didn't really have the merit to go forward. They didn't have the merit to go forward. Like Troy Libert said just a while ago, they lost in one district by only 8 votes, and their take was that they wasn't going to challenge that specific district of St. James at all. Imagine we're down to single-digit loss, and there is no challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then in the other 2 districts, CCM won by a sizable margins. Spencer Brand himself, his win was like 27, 28, 29 votes, but he increased his margin from the last election. So, I believe NRP, they got some bad advice. And, here we are now, and, it's time to try to move Nevis forward. Nevis can't be stagnated. We can't keep Nevis stagnated for too much more longer. We got to start pushing ahead in Nevis to try to get Nevis, developed and go forward. But best of luck, man. I'm going to keep it short because I know time is running out. You guys have a good day.
You too. Thank you for your
Thank
contribution.
you. Yes. Oh, just to give some, that there was a KLM flight cancelled yesterday in St. Martin due to a nose gear problems. So we had a KLM Airbus flight 332 got stuck on the runway at Princess Juliana International Airport on Sunday afternoon, moments after the aircraft touched down.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that they've taken the precautions and they've saved lives.
The information thus far states that the aircraft encountered issues with its nose gear and it remained stuck on the runway, which led to the runway being shut down.
Okay.
Management of the airport said that the runway was shut down at 3:26 p.m. on Sunday and reopened at 4 p.m. after the aircraft was towed away from its hangar. To its hangar, sorry. The KLM requested assistance from the airport mechanics and that are busy rectifying the issue. Due to the mechanical issue, the aircraft encountered some 259 passengers booked for departure and now facing delays.
However, they have lives.
Yeah. However, by 5:55 p.m., passengers were able to board the aircraft as they prepared.
Wow.
As they prepare for departure.
Lucky people.
Even though the runway was shut down for a short period, no injuries were registered. Smaller aircrafts were diverted while the larger jets circled until the runway reopened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take another call. Caller, go right ahead. Okay. So yeah, and they had to take. They basically had to take all the luggage off the plane as well because it took 45 minutes just for the tractor to move the jet from where it was
to the hangar.
Yeah. 45 so and because that's how heavy it was.
That's like like a trip from St. Kitts to Nevis.
So they had to take all the passengers off, plus they had to take all the cargo out of the jet before they could
to lighten it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's go back to the phone. Hey, go right ahead, caller. Hello.
Good morning, folks.
Hi, good morning.
Yes. Are you privy to any details on the case? Like, was it struck down on the basis of I guess what you all call a technicality, in that it was filed late, or was it something more substantive?
Usually, when you strike out, it's something based on the merit.
Is that the same as being dismissed?
Struck out mean no.
It's
struck out is struck out. You knock out the claim.
Yes, but I know that there was some talk of whether or not the claims were filed late or not. I just wondered if.
But we don't have the specific details.
We don't have
we
the
just,
specifics. Yeah.
We just
because
know it
if it was a case of that, then the NRP deserves to lose, because I can't imagine an excuse for taking it down to the wire, taking the filing of such an important case down to the wire. Okay? But I guess, the end result is the same. It's struck down, and the NRP...
Yeah, it's called struck out. The terminology is struck out.
Oh, struck out.
Yeah.
Right. Basically, it means going back to the drawing board and trying to exert pressure on the government.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I heard with your interview with Troy Leiber this morning, they are doing some serious mismanagement of governance, in the sense that you hear him speak of, with a hospital project, you expect, as the experts come in and advise, that there'll be changes. But that's putting the cart before the horse. You bring in these experts first to advise you, and then you proceed with the project. Not having to proceed with the project and then breaking down walls and all this. That's wastage, right? The whole project seemed to have been done in a very ad hoc, haphazard way. And as a result of that, I think you end up with certainly time overruns and certainly cost overruns,
which we can't
as well.
afford as smaller and developing states.
You see, and so there are issues, I think, that they should be taken to task for, and the whole approach to administration, because I hear the same kind of issues being raised on the road development project. How they seem so open-ended and so drawn out. So I guess Troy Leiber, being who he is, very smooth talking, might sound reasonable, but in actual fact, people should not accept that kind of
We don't have
the
much
country when it
time.
comes.
We don't have much time, Miss McMahon.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for.
I just thought I'd mention those things. Yeah.
So thank you for your contribution.
Definitely, and it's something that government officials have to look at when you have projects, when you're looking to make projects that are in the interest of the development of your people. You really do have to make sure that they're planned properly and that you have, little wastage as much as possible, because we want to see the conclusion. We want to see the conclusion of the various projects. But I hope everybody has had a great time with us here, with Azard and me, Unoma, your guest host. It's back to the Soup Cafe life.
What do we have this afternoon to look forward to at the Soup Cafe?
Oh my gosh, we got turkey neck soup. We might have some conch chowder. We have red peas and chicken soup. We have chicken wing soup. We have veggie. A lot of people are increasing their demand for veggie soups. Really good. We have salmon wraps. We have chicken wraps. We have jerk chicken wraps and salads. So if you want a lighter option. And we have lasagna. We have beef lasagna today. So make your way down to the Soup Cafe. Call us on 660-SOUP. That is 660-7687. And if you allow me, look out for August 7th, Emancipation Day. There's something new coming to the social media airwaves, if you will, on St. Kitts and Nevis and across the world, where there is a new talk show. And that talk
What's
show...
the name of the talk show?
The Unoma Allen Talk Show.
Oh,
the
wow.
Unoma Allen Talk
Yes.
Show. Look out for that. I'm so excited about it.
Yes.
And it's been brought to you by...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Caribbean Soul Media came to me and they proposed this. And I said, yes, let's do it. It's something that I've always considered. And you must go on to Facebook, Instagram, look up Caribbean Soul Media, like, share, subscribe, because you got to be there when we launch and when that first edition of the Unoma Allen Talk Show reaches you.
Yes. That sounds good. Okay, we're out of time. It's almost 3 minutes after 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for Island Tea for today, February 27th.
See you tomorrow.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit just can't.